It gives me truly great pleasure to invite Narayana Reddy to be with us this afternoon. He has earned the love and admiration of so many people across the state and outside the state as well. He's been practicing natural farming for a long time. I will let you share his details of his adventure in natural farming. He lives in a village called Maralenahalli, near Doddaballapura right now, but he's moved there 22 years ago. Before then, he used to be in a village near Vartur here, which is the farm that he just told me Fukuoka visited. And I remember friends saying we are going to visit Narayana Reddy's farm, and they would point towards Vartur back then. So this was back then. So he says he would like to give you a lecture of sorts for about 45 to 50 minutes, and then have a question answer with you.
Good afternoon to all of you. I am fortunate to share my experiences, particularly in natural farming. But I don't think I am following 100% natural farming. Even Fukuoka has said it. Even my neighbor need not follow me, because there are many factors involved in everybody's social affairs. So, we should adopt it, but the principle is the same. Without hurting the mother earth, without hurting the soil organisms, and without hurting the productivity of the soil health, you can change little changes. But all over the world, not only in agriculture, every human wants to make quick money with a huge amount immediately. That is the problem. And agriculture, the last profession to do that. There is a saying, if somebody has to be happy for a while, get him drunk. He can be very happy for 2-3 hours if he is drunk. And if somebody has to be happy for a few years, let him get married. It is a beautiful life for 2-3 years. Then really the war starts. But not with everybody, particularly with the IT industries. And if somebody has to be happy forever, you should become a farmer or a gardener. And particularly for old people, this is the only profession. He can spend his time very happily till his last breath. My prayer to God always is, I am only 82 now. I want to live another 40 years. I don't know whether it is granted or not. But whatever age I die at, but I want to be working with my trees, animals, and my Mother Earth. And that is the easiest way of passing our time. No entertainment, no worship can give you so much joy. When you sow a seed, 6th or 7th day when it sprouts, that happy moments you can't derive from any wealth. So, and again, producing food, the basic need of humanity. Not only humanity, the whole creation of nature depends on us. After God, if at all anything important is, it is farmer. And the second is teachers, because they mold you people to good future citizens. Anyhow, coming to agriculture, and before this industrialization, of course the population was also very little, and collection of fruits, tubers, and for some people hunting was a habit. No cultivation was there. In Indian heritage, you will understand by learning our Vedas and Puranas, those days, almost every yuga also, they were living on tubers and fruits. Of course, some non-vegetarians started hunting, and they also used to hunt animals. Cultivation started by women, not by men. But unfortunately now, after this industrialized way of agriculture started, women were neglected. They were sidelined. They have no importance. But in the work, even now, 60% of agriculture operations are done by women. But she started thinking, if the husband is not coming in time, if he is caught in rains, she started growing the same tubers he used to collect from the forest around her house. Then the grains, she started trying them around their house. That's how agriculture started. But till industrialization, it was beautiful. It is not the population. Even now with 7 billion people in the universe, it is not the population problem that is creating all these problems. It is our greed and lust. We want to have everything for ourselves. Gandhiji has said several times, people should be happy working only 4 hours a day and 8 hours in sleeping. The other 12 hours they should have been enjoying singing songs and dancing and writing poems. But now we don't have time even to talk to our grandchildren. We are busy with earning money, and that with so much of hardship, everybody works. Particularly IT people work around 16 hours a day, I think. But all that money is spent in nursing homes, ailing and being so unhappy. Do we require that? I am not against somebody. Premji has established a mini empire. But how many people are being benefited? That is what Gandhi said. You might have been inherited property from your parents, or you might have made it by your capability of hard working, but it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the society. You are entitled to have a share of it to lead a honorable life, not lavish style of life and not luxurious life. If that was so, you would have a different universe. No fighting, no unhappiness, everything. That is what our elders lived. There are very rich people even in the villages, but they used to share their food to the needy people, and they used to do so many good works like building a temple, building a school, contributing for hospitals, and they were sharing their hard-earned money. Unlike now, we are depositing in Swiss bank and pay interest on our own money. What a curse this is. So coming to agriculture, actually it is a natural phenomenon. Huh? If you go back to my own story, I was a cleaner in a restaurant. My salary was 7 rupees a month, not a day. And I had schooling only up to 4th standard, because my father bet me for bringing my herd of goats after grazing, because I went to look at a train. At the 17th year, I had not seen a train. And 8th kilometer, there was a Whitefield railway station from my place. So, those days, trains used to move at least 10 hours late every day. That was the system we had, and such bad engines and coal. So I was watching to look at a train, and it was very late by 1 hour, so I came 1 hour late. My father was afraid what has happened, whether you would have spoiled somebody's crops and you might have been held, because the young ones were praying for their mothers. When I came, he beat me badly. I thought, got embraced, and that ran away from that house at midnight. 20 kilometers I walked to Bangalore, and I don't know what to do. Innocence, inferior complex. Then, with greatest difficulty, I got a job as a cleaner in a restaurant. But for youngsters, this should be a very good lesson, that's why I tell you. Within 3 hours of doing my work very efficiently, I was promoted to the kitchen. This is what I want to tell everybody. If you respect your job, it may be a dirty job, but somebody has to do it. Let you be one to do that and accept it as a gift from God and try to do at its best. Even doesn't matter you do it or not, but you have to try to do it in the best way you can, so you will be rewarded. So then I learned some languages, typewriting, matriculation, all in 1.5 years. Then I joined a transport as a cleaner, office attender. But within 6 months I was made manager. Again hard work, transparency, taking some risks. Nobody is given, we have to earn it. Kalamji has said several times, you are not gifted, it is not gifted. You have earned it by your capability. That should be the mentality. Then I became a manager without being a clerk, and my salary went up to 400 rupees from 40 rupees in the beginning as the peon. Then believe me, I had purchased a bed sheet. I used to live in the office. They had a watchman. I had a free accommodation. And I spent only 50 paisa per day for 2 meals. When ragi ball was costing 25 paisa that day. No breakfast, no coffee, forget about all other pocket monies. I saved all my money. And I didn't purchase a bed sheet costing 30 rupees. I wanted to credit every possible rupee. So for 8 years I slept in a gunny bag. That was a quilt for me, a bed and also a pullover. But I had joined 2 of them, so I can stretch my legs easily. Otherwise it is only this side. Very comfortably slept. And then I had saved 45,000 rupees in 12 years, including my hotel service. I had a vision, I had a goal, and then I got land as a challenge to my father in my own village, and he wanted to give me property. I didn't accept it. And the first mistake I made was I went to agriculture university. Fukuoka was a scientist in fungal sciences. So I was carried with the technology I was taught by university. I quadruplied my yields compared to my neighbor with chemical farming. I was adjudged as the best farmer in 76, and I had a reward from central government. Neelam Sanjay Reddy, my own man, Reddy, he was proud of me. I had the award, best farmer of the country. Then, having done all this succession of yields and quadruplied everything, I was losing my money because my input was higher than my output. Unfortunately, I didn't know the damage I was doing to my land by applying chemicals, fertilizers and herbicides. Even with economical reason, I was losing my money. Then I thought I should sell away my land, go back to my transport business. I can multiply money easily. At that juncture, I met a man from America. He was a NASA scientist. After some realization, at the age of 40 years, he gave up his job, very lucrative job in NASA, and he was in charge of growing organic vegetables in Esalen Institute, San Francisco, California. Fortunately, I met him at Sai Baba's ashram. We became very good friends. And he was the man in 79 who gave me Fukuoka's book, One Star Revolution. I read it several times and felt so bad having hurt my Mother Earth. Those days everybody objected me except my wife, but she supported my view and we started. The first year was a failure because I hadn't infrastructure and the soil was in a bad shape. But I didn't give up the challenge. Second year, I was very near to my old yields. 23 was my old yield. I went up to 21. That was not a big difference. Then I became strong and thought I can do that. That was in 80. I accepted totally. Not natural farming, I call it organic farming because I do some shallow flowing. Because it took him 14 years to produce his first grains. But in our society, we can't wait even 14 hours. So I follow some little changes. Not very deep flow, as University suggests 1.5 feet. I do some 2 inches flowing. And because I have cattle, I have plenty of cow dung. We make a heap with all our crop residues. It turns to be good compost. We spread around the crops and we are very comfortable. And from 4 acres, apart from meeting 15,000 meals inputs in a year, visitors, my trainees, and my family, we need 15 meals 3 times a day. That is 45 into 365. That is around 15,000. We don't purchase anything from outside. We grow everything ourselves except salt, sugar, tea dust, soap. The rest of the things we produce. And we are very comfortable. And soil is growing richer and richer and richer every year. And my trees, if I sell the trees I have, 1 crore rupees in 4 acres. It is a record in India, I think. So that is how I became. Then coming to agriculture, we are not supposed to till the soil or dig the soil. Earthworms, they have to come out of above the soil to discharge their castings 6 times a day, at least in the rainy season regularly. Poor animals, they don't have memory like us. It is good for us. Memory, intelligence should have been powered us, but you should have guided by good ethics. But unfortunately, we are intelligent, but we are not guided by ethics or values. That is the biggest problem. So, in agriculture, if you are supporting or obeying or following nature, everything else is done by the creation for us. God has created everything for the subsistence of the population, and at last He created man. But He did a mistake. He created a garden, and He created a man and woman, Adam and Eve. But if He had kept quiet, that would have been beautiful. Out of anxiety, He told them not to eat a fruit that will bring them intelligence. So, with a curiosity, they ate the fruit immediately, and they came to know all this intelligence, whatever. That is the end of culture. So, animals, fortunately, they have no memory power, they don't have wisdom, they obey the nature. It is only humans we don't obey nature. Even cheetahs, lions, tigers, they obey the nature. It is only when they are very hungry they hunt an animal. But we want to accumulate money even for our great-great-grandfathers. For 5 generations we want to create an asset. That is the problem we have. But if living happily and comfortably, honorably is your own aim, you have plenty. Nature has given us plenty. But because of greediness, Gandhi has also said that nature can meet everybody's need, but not one person's greed. The whole nature can't make him happy to meet his greed. Greed has no bounds, no boundaries. Similarly, these animals, they obey the nature and they work the way like they were guided by nature. So these earthworms has to come up 6 times from 2 to 3 feet depth. They carve tunnels and come back. Not only carving, they cement them with their slushy fluid on their body. It is a cement like. So it won't collapse at least for 2-3 years with rain or other small damages. And termites are branded as the worst enemies of pharma. They are dangerous in the house. They may eat away wood, windows and doors and books, and if some women have 15,000 saris like Jayalalitha, they might have eaten away. But if it is an enemy in the house. Termites are enemy in the house, but better friends than earthworms in the soil. Remember, if the termites are not there, if all the crop residues and the fallen leaves and dead wood would have been 500 meters high all over the universe. They are digesting, they are clearing it in 1 or 2 months. And their digestive system is so well designed, 2/3 of their stomach has 2 billion parasites. Because they eat only cellulose, only fibrous thing, dead wood and dead leaves, even if they are hunger or dying, they don't eat a living organism. You might have seen, if some farmers' children are here, you might have seen they eat away a dying plant. It may be wheat or sorghum. They may eat it away as a mercy killing, because it is 100% true they can't grow anymore, even with watering or rains. At that critical stage when they are suffering to die, it will eat it away and convert it into manure for the farmer, and it also leaves. Coming to this food, it has 0.1% of nitrogen, this dead wood, these dead leaves or dead roots. They feed only on the dead wood. So there is no nitrogen nor protein. So fortunately they don't have a urinating organ. So the sweat, respiration takes away the nitrogen they had in there. So these parasites collect it back and or mix it with the ground dead wood, and it becomes nutritious. So the host has enough protein and the parasites have also enough. Look at this beautiful system God has created for us. But our agriculture science, I am not against any agriculture scientist. I am only against the science itself all over the world. I travel for 30 years all over the world, at least twice a year. I attend international seminars. I question our scientists, sir, if I am wrong, guide me. I don't have university education. Nowadays you are very correct. Scientifically you are right. Then how come you are misleading? You are working against this system. They also agree, sir, our system is under influence. I can't change it. So If they were really sensible or honest to their conscience, they could not have continued in that science. Like Fukuoka gave up. He resigned just one day when he said, "Oh, what I am doing against the interest of the land and the nature," he resigned. His colleagues were surprised. The earlier day he was very good in laboratory, very active. The next day he resigned and they wanted to convince him. Nobody could influence. No, we are doing bad to the nature and the agriculture. Let me correct it. But it took him long time in exhibiting it. But he was successful. This one reason I tell you, young people, before accepting any job, with your limitations, whether it's money or knowledge, health, you decide what you can do easily and stick on to that principle, and if you can concentrate there, you are bound to meet with success. That is about me also. I neither had money. I was not a very bright person. My knowledge was zero, so to say. Even I didn't know language except my mother tongue Telugu and little Kannada. But how come I mastered 5 languages? I can write articles in 5 languages, and I know all Indian languages to follow. It is an effort you put in. Please do that at this age. Please don't waste your precious time in funny things. But make fun for 1 hour maximum. Play for 2 hours. But don't waste your time in funny things. Anything can be attained back, got back. But you can't get your parents again, and you can get 7th, 12 p.m., February 17. It is gone 2 hours back. So be careful. The most precious thing in human culture is time. Please utilize for a better person. I am a gifted person. I don't know how I was gifted, who blessed me. I had it from my younger days. So I am very successful. Otherwise, where is Narayana Reddy and where is Azim Premji, University? When I received a call a week back, I was surprised. Is it from really Azim University or somebody else making fun of me? But I got it. But it is not gifted. I earned it. Please, nothing will be gifted to you. But you have to earn it with hard work and capacity. Please do that, you will be very successful. And this telling need not be done by missions. Actually, flowing below 4 inches, it is detrimental, and hard work of 50 years, hard work of these soil organisms created a very fertile soil, productive soil. With one flow, we were distracting 50 years of their hard work. I don't know why agriculture universities, in my opinion, I always tell them, even panel discussions in the presence of agriculture minister and our vice chancellor, I tell boldly, I think you are under influence from multinational companies. Otherwise, there is no reason you have all your sciences are restrictive, not even one of their science. The first lesson in the basic sciences class, when the students first period he attend, the lecturer starts with, soil is an inert material. Each gram of soil, healthy soil, should contain at least 3 billion microorganisms. Fungi, mycorrhiza, bacteria, apart from the visible creatures like earthworm, termite, and invisible, which can be seen only by electron microscope. 3 billion, 90 tons in an acre of top 4 inches of soil. But our soil carbon content before Green Revolution in India, that was in 1960, started in India. Before that, South Peninsula, so all of South India, including Telangana, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Goa, Pondicherry, we have 3% of soil carbon, humus. Now we are left with 10%, 0.3. So 1 kilo of soil carbon content in your soil can hold 35 liters of water in a year, which was going wastefully, drained down deep below, percolated or evaporated. Now it is a mass, biomass, decays, decomposed, it is holding, not allowing, maybe 2-3% may be evaporating because of warmth, but 98% of it is held moisture is provided to the roots. So imagine 90 tons into 35 liters. How many lakhs, millions liters of water we are wasting just because of our tractorization, exposing the soil to the sun. It is a big science for them. Particularly December cyclones we have, plow the soil deep and allow it to dry. So every year, just by this bad practice on each acre, we are losing 9 tons of soil carbon. And adding to that, with the use of chemical fertilizers in the form of nitrogenous manure, we are burning another 9 to 10 tons. So every year, we are losing 18 to 20 tons. Out of 90 tons, if you are wasting 20 tons every year, what is left back? It is a begging bowl. If the same science continues for another 5 years, again we have to go to America with a begging bowl. So this traditional agriculture, what we actually it should have been known as modern agriculture. Again, it is a surprise to me why it is known as traditional agriculture. Chemical farming is branded traditional agriculture. 60 years is not our tradition. 10,000 years is our tradition. Even that wording itself is wrong notion. We have to correct it. So if we don't go back to our elders, trees, each acre should have 25 trees minimum to keep the soil mulched with dry leaves and to host birds to eat away our creatures and encourage water infiltration with a deep root system. Can you imagine a ryegrass, which is supposed to be like a paddy plant, with some 7-8 suckers, just this type of grassy plant. The root length is 6,600. Can you imagine what it is? Millimeters, centimeters, inches, feet, miles. If a grassy plant like paddy, which is 7-8 tillers, could have a root length of 6,600 miles, what an amount of roots one of our banyan tree could have. All these loosened soils with the root system are encouraging percolation of water which have been otherwise run off. Not only water, even the top fertile soil could have been washed off. That is what Fukuoka promotes from the beginning. The first 1 to 24 pages, some 4-5 problems are there. How we are spoiling our land, how bad it is for the soil. And particularly in the law, where should our food come? Global warming. The main reason is our food habit. Food have been from the local walkable distance, maximum 13 kilometers radius. Whatever is grown within that 13 kilometers radius was supposed to be our food. Now, where does food coming? Apples are coming from Washington, Fiji, New Zealand, China. Even Kashmir apples are not good for a Bengalurian. So, our doctors just 10 years back were recommending apple a day. As apple a day keeps doctor away. I was talking for 50 years to change and reverse it. An apple a day invites a doctor every day. Actually, our local food and fruits and vegetables, particularly seasonal, whether it is green or a grain or a fruit, only at the season it is our food. And we want to have packaged apple slices and mango slices in December. Apple, okay, that grows that season. But mango, they are to be eaten in the month of April, May, June. I eat away 30 to 40 fruits every day during April, May, June. Not after that. But we are preserving them. To preserve them, they cook them to 300 degrees. And all the, not only taste, all the vitamins are lost. The oxygen are gone. The cells are dead. And they preserve dead matter as a corpse with preservatives. And you enjoy mango juice throughout the year. Should I tell the fact of Maza? In Andhra, they grow a lot of mangoes, in Andhra, Telangana. The wind blows mangoes in February, March. They are small fruits. Wind blows them or they fall off because excessive heat. Your Maza people collects them at 500 rupees a quintal and add additives to eat to fruiten them. They don't smell. They add synthetic flavor and of course sugar, and you enjoy Maza at the best to drink. It is worse than Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola. Please consume your food which is available at your walkable distance in the season. Don't be greedy of tasting a cauliflower in the month of May, June, because it should grow at 5 to 10 degrees centigrade temperature. The cauliflower you get in the month of May, June is cultivated in April, May with so much of poison. More than water content in the cauliflower, you have 40% of poison and 30% of water. If you are very keen on manchuri, gobi manchuri, you can have it. To invite a problem. At 82, everybody, it is a big surprise. I travel 20 days in a month. I better sleep in train, sleeper class, better than in my home, because I get that jula. I am used to that. How come I can travel like this? Because I eat good food. I eat good food. That is the secret of my life. And your activities, your behavior totally depends on the food you eat, believe me. But all these mischiefs in the world happening all over the world is because of our polluted and poisoned food. If the Mother Earth is healthy, and if our thoughts are clear, positive, and guided by values, you will never be a sick person. Can you imagine at 82, I have not been injected and I have not taken a tablet so far? Can you imagine? I traveled 20 days in a Fukuoka. And even his neighbors laughed at him. Even his father didn't accept his principle when he started. And he said, I will prove it. But it was a long time to make it. Because he learnt everything newly, not from the agriculture schooling. Actually, our education system, I don't know about the other sciences, but two sciences know very well. One is agriculture science and medical science. And similarly for pharmaceuticals. They are not for the benefit of humanity. They are for the benefit of multinational industries. They are guiding force. They are funding them. Can you imagine our Indian UGC is not granting funds to universities for research. Monsanto, Syngenta are funding us. So why do they fund? To work for their benefit. So that is the situation. Fukuoka, it is not only a natural form, it is a model for humanity. his life, his simplicity. And he had done some of funny things also. You might have heard, there was a singer. He can't even hug her. He was after her. One day he asked her to sing and dance. And he was overwhelmed with it. But he wanted to hug, but he was so fat she can't even hug. And one day she met his research station was very near a port, Fukuoka or something. And there was the most beautiful lady. She was a cinema actor, she didn't know. She went on taking her pictures. And then he was brave enough to go to her, can I send my pictures? She said some city's name, Fukuoka or something. And she sent that. He sent 10 pictures, and one she didn't send him back because he has taken very close. The wrinkles was there. So she didn't like to pass him back, but she autographed on the other 9 and sent him back. He did all funny things like us. I too had done that in my younger days. I don't blame him. And then, in spite of that, he became a model to the universe. And in spite of being held the most important job in fungal sciences, particularly in certifying seeds and plants, he was the issuing authority of that certificate. Even then, after some realization, when he found a ricide grown among weeds were very good, 180 grains or so, he thought all that night, "Arey, how come? Nobody cultivated for it, nobody manured it, watered it." And even watering, actually paddy is not an aquatic plant, because some foolish farmer, when his land was submerged with water, he was very happy, he didn't notice any weeds coming up. So he spread the message all over this place. But while harvesting, he found out his yield has come down by 50%. But he didn't like it to say this because it was a failure. No? So he kept it secret. Then that watering submerging came to popular. In some chapter he has very well mentioned about it. Their weather is quite different from India. But he only submerges for a week to discourage weed growth and flower growth and make the rice plants come up. Then after that he forgets about watering because of heavy mulch and rich humus. He never waters it again. Maybe in a worse situation when the moisture comes below 60%, he makes another flooding. Otherwise he won't irrigate. Actually we have a science now, system of rice intensification. It is almost the same. I practice it for 12 years. It is very good science. So by submerging with water, the plants don't get enough oxygen. And it is a very deciding factor in global warming. Because we blame Europeans and Westerners for polluting vehicles and industries. They blame South Asia paddy growers by encouraging release of methane gas with a thin blade of water. So even that he disproved water is not necessary for paddy cultivation. And cultivation by plowing, he totally didn't do it. He just made earthen pellets, and which is a very good science. Even in some of the schools I am recommending now, they want to tree planting. Some NGOs in Bengaluru support some schools to plant tree sapling planting. What happens, sapling planting only is very expensive, making them in polythene bags and transporting to distant villages. But I taught them, after having read Fukuoka's book, you do pellets. So they mix 30% of mud, 30% of cow dung, and some coir pith with some gomutra, cow urine, and make it a soft, and they place a seed, whether it's neem or pingami or whatever tree where they want to grow. Even fruit trees like jackfruit, the seeds are embedded, they dry them and keep them until the monsoon starts in May, June. Then they make a small ditch like this, and they don't need a big bowl now. which costs a lot of money, and it is not comfortable also for the plants to establish there, because the roots were contained in a small plastic, like hairs. But this seed, when it sprouts with moisture, the embryo goes deeper and deeper in search of moisture. So they don't need to water them also, and they grow lush green and very happily. So in most of the schools we are educating through these NGOs not to plant a trunk plant, better you make a seed and throw them, but usually spreads them. But here it is better we make a small ditch like this and place it there. So it is not rolling out, and it gets some more moisture, and better than throwing above the soil. If there is heavy rain, it may got washed off. So, but this way, it will be buried again. So this is the most beneficial thing. And weeds. In our agriculture science, they think weeds utilize fertility and water. No. We can disprove that because there is an experiment made by a Belgian scientist Almont in 1973. A plant which produced 70 kilos of biomass in dry weight, leaf, stem, branches, root, has consumed only 60 grams. So, weeds are not a hindrance in absorbing fertility or either water. If the weed was not there, if the land was exposed to sun and air, much moisture would have been evaporated because they have covered it. They may be absorbing some moisture, but at least they save 50% more water from evaporation than they consume. But the real problem with the weeds is they should not shade our main crop. So photosynthesis doesn't happen, so starch will not be enough for the plant. For that reason, you say don't kill them, don't eradicate them, manage them. If there is a weed competing with our plant, so you stamp it or pull it down. So it will protect the moisture, it will produce more fertility, and it acts as a support, as a friend for our main crop. This is most important, not only for Japan, for the whole universe, even for the future of 5,000 years maybe. His contribution are great. And about lifestyle, he is a monk. He is not a human. When he was with me for 3-4 hours, every 5 minutes he remembers Buddha and Gandhiji, and he is guided by values and his simplicity. Once you adopt simple lifestyle, you don't need to work very hard, you don't need to cheat somebody, you don't need to lie. If your needs are minimized, so why do you need more money? And in case if you are still earning money, like me now, you can share it to the society, you can help needy people. So, money is not the absolute goal which he proved all his life. And about food and the death of barley. Death of barley, no? Death of barley. Actually, after the war, Americans forced them to import wheat from America. Actually, they got many allergic diseases. Otherwise, food has to be from the walkable distance, as I told you earlier, and also Fukuoka said it repeatedly. Barley, the winter grain, barley and buckwheat, sorghum, they were the local grain, and the utilization of soil was continuous. No abandoning, no keeping the land barren. Earlier, before the war, 70-80% of Japanese were farmers. But now I think it is less than 20%. Gradually it came down. Now actually India's biggest challenge in silk was Japan one time. Now is China. Because they got into industrial production, they gave up agriculture. But Most of them are sick, unhappy, because they don't have good oxygen, they don't have good exercise. So agriculture is such a profitable profession if all the benefits are taken into account. If it is only economical gain, it is the last profession to do that. If money is the only calculation we are making, agriculture is the worst. It is worse than begging, I should say. I know some people in rich areas, they collect 500 to 600 rupees easily sitting with a sack. Somebody throws 10 rupees and somebody gets some car and give them money. But when you compare agriculture with economics, nobody can do that. But health, independence, happiness, freedom, and contentedness only comes from agriculture. And 2000 years back, the universe had 44% of oxygen. It is not only population. It was deforestation is the main reason for the absence of oxygen. In Bangalore, I don't think in the congested areas like railway station and city market, they may not have even 15% oxygen. If the oxygen level comes below 6, no living organism can survive. And the main reason for cancer is lack of oxygen. So, my earnest request with you is, you celebrate birthdays lavishly. I don't come near way, but at least save 200 rupees from minimize, make a budget 200 less in your birthday celebration, and encourage a farmer to grow a sapling with your money. Then next year, not only you will be very busy on birthday, even after or before you go and visit your seedling, and it will make you very happy. And then again contribute another 200 rupees to plant another tree for in memory of your birthday. That will be the greatest service you can do to this country. If 1.3 billion trees are coming up every year in India, India will be Sujalam, Sufalam, Sasyasyaamalam again. So do that. And please have consideration for your responsibilities also. But these days, we are only after our rights. Yeah, you can demand for your right, but you can be responsible in discharging your duties also. Fukuoka gave me a dictation. He was very happy. My 8 acres, I had 2,000 trees by then. He was very happy. No other farmer I had seen has so many trees. But why don't you plant a sapling every day? Even today I am following that. In 4 acres I have 900 trees. I can't find a place. Around 11, 12 o'clock I walk around my land. Wherever I find some 15 square feet of circle, I dig a hole and plant a sapling. And pray her, mother, it is your child, it is your responsibility to bring it up. So the fittest will survive. At least I am happy I am following his dictation after 29 years. Please, whenever you come across a beautiful idea from whichever source, maybe magazine, TV, radio, or through some people talking to you, please consider it. It is our responsibility. And if you follow that, you will be happy more than others. And that will be the greatest service you can do. Again, local grains are very, in India, the biggest tragedy is we had 16, 17 micro millets in each state. My father used to grow them. And they had a combination of nutritious food, oil seeds, dal, vegetables, all in dry land. No irrigation, no dam. And they had the best science derived from their experience. For example, this Solanaceae family, there are 5 plants. Tobacco, potato, chili, tomato, baingan. So the recommendation from Agriculture University, you can't grow none of these crops at least for 5 years in the same place. But our experience has taught our grandmothers for 180 years. My family has one area. My grandmother's great-grandmother-in-law started growing chili there, but she was interplanting with marigold. Marigold sap is poison for the nematode that kills the Solanaceae family plants, injecting bacteria wilt. But I don't know why my 9th generation, it was 450 years back, I don't know, maybe her grandmother, her mother-in-law, might have taught her to plant companion plant as marigold with chili. Even now, it has gone to my share of my elder brother. My sister-in-law was cutting, now her daughter-in-law is cutting in the same field. For 450 years in the same plant, they are growing chili again and again without any damage, because their knowledge of interplanting with marigold. So our tradition has so many beautiful technologies. Unfortunately, under the influence of multinational company, we have reached this stage. That the last para between 79 and 102, that is very important in food habits and our behavior towards soil cultivation and our anxieties of making money. So that is the most important. It is not agriculture, it is a law to be abided for the humans, not only for agriculture, it's for everybody, even for an industrialist. I should have done it earlier. So, Fukuoka is not only a model for agriculture, it is a model for humanity. And that one blade of grass, nobody has a value for that. A blade of grass. And even I don't know how heavy it is. It may not be even 1 milligram, maybe less than that. But it can change the fate of the farmer and the condition of the soil if you know its importance and if you know its contribution. That's why it is named as one-star revolution. If a straw blade can make. And there is almost story there in the last chapter. There was a man who was making charcoal and selling at the port, maybe for ships those days. And he used to carry it on a horse. While coming back, he never came empty-handed. He used to have a spare bag to collect the horse-stamped grass blades and of course their manure also, and dump it every year, every day in his farm. And within 10 years, not from the money by selling charcoal, because he rejuvenated his land, he became a richest person of that area, as mentioned in that. So importance for any biomass is very important. After meeting him in 88, I imposed some condition on myself. When I go back, I need to walk 1 kilometer from my bus stand. We live in a remote small village. When I go back, if I come across cow dung, I collect. If they are more than 3-4 kilos, then I spread my towel and line it with green leaves or dead leaves without dirtying it. I carefully carry up to 10 kilos of dung. Sometimes I go up to 100 yards up to my garden, I don't come across any cow dung. Then I know my mother will be waiting for me with some food for her. Then I collect some dry leaves or some green bushes and have some 2-3 kilos at least. I take it as my gift to my mother. If all our farmers has given consideration for the biomass, we can change the fate of this country. But we think, oh, if I am doing, can the whole country be improved? Forget about the world. Gandhi has several times said, even Buddha said, be the change you want from others in the world. You change yourself. Doesn't matter others change or not. But by chance, even 2 others will follow. That is a great improvement in the universe. He will change another 2 people. So, this message should start within from, and right from today, and we should start right now, not tomorrow. And another great man, a Nobel laureate from Chile, Gabriel, I can't remember the whole name, he said, every day we make many mistakes. The biggest blunder is felling a tree. And there is a Chinese story. An emperor wanted a cupboard made of wood by one particular carpenter. He was very good worker. The emperor brought him and ordered him to make a cupboard. I need 6 months time. Hare, timber is available in the market. Why do you need 6 months? Sir, timber was from a felled tree, not from a dead wood. I don't use timber which comes from living trees. It was a felled tree. I don't do that mischief. I will find out a old tree ready to die and make you. See, granted. But he was not able to find a old tree for 6 months. He was brought again and asked, what are them? So I am searching. If not only you are playing mischief, I think, how long you more want? 15 days. If you don't within that 50 days, your head will be cut off. Okay, sir, if you like that, you can do that. So he went back, searched, didn't find. Then he was brought again. Hey, you are being killed today. If you want to do so, you can do it. But the emperor was selfish. If he dies, he can't get such a good worker. So he granted another 15 days. But luckily he found an old tree and asked for another 15 days time to saw it and make it. And he did it. Look, a man was ready to give up his life, but he didn't want to fell a tree, or he didn't want even to use wood from a felled tree. So, trees are the real god and goddesses. Our country, even Thar desert was once a rainforest. These Rajasthan emperors, for their fun of making palaces, they cut off all the forests, and now it is the biggest forest in India, desert in India. So, trees and vegetation and even a blade of grass have so much importance in soil preparation and maintenance. And Fukuoka's every operation, even though it was a slow process, but his vision and his thought was very scientific, but the education he had was quite on the other side of it. Because one day he fell unconscious and he didn't even sleep or dead, but somehow he was alive. The next morning when he got up, he thought, what is this happening with me? So we are far away from the nature. I should go near to the nature. That is the real lesson for him, and that is the preaching for him ever since he became like a saint. And he always obeyed nature and supported nature. And not only in Japan, he is a model in the whole universe. And even America had invited him to get educated for his scientific academy. So, Fukuoka, it is not confined to humanity. He is a model for all living creatures in the world. My happiest day in my life was when he came to my farm. I didn't know he was coming. I was praying for 10 years after reading that book, if I can meeting one in my lifetime. But when he received Deshikottama Award in Shantiniketan in 88, during the regime of Rajiv Gandhi, who was Chancellor of Shantiniketan, on his way to a follower, Belgium, in Pondicherry, he stayed in Ecumenical Christian Center, Whitefield, and I am very dear to that institute because they bring their students and faculty there. And he found out who is Narayana Reddy. Most of the people who come to my training mention his name in Bangalore. I want to see him. Look how my prayer was granted. And she sent their driver. And either he didn't know he is Fukuoka. All that he told was, how are you here? This morning, my director wants to bring some foreigner. Even if I knew Fukuoka had come, I would have lost anxiety. But maybe some foreigner. But at 10 o'clock when it got down from the car, that was the most joyful time in my life. Not when I was married, not when I received Rajyotsav Award, not when I had my first son, not when I had Nadaj Award. That was my happiest moment in life, for having the gift of meeting him personally and spending 3 hours with him. So, you are lucky you have the textbook. And it is not only for your marks and faculty gain, but follow it and preserve it as Bhagavad Gita. That book, don't spoil it, and get it xeroxed and distribute to your friends and relations. That is a message for the humanity. And my dearest and my most valued teacher is Fukuoka. I don't know how you accept him. You are fortunate you have that book as a detailed or non-detailed study. Please do that. And now I think I will finish my talk, and if you have some questions, I try to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Thank you for the faculty, and particularly Chandragowda, who gave me a chance to remember him again and again and again. Thank you.
Working with his ideas. When you began to use his ideas on your farm, what did you find most difficult?
Very different education by agriculture university. I was totally misguided. But fortunately, I felt its difficulties during that 5 years in the beginning. But this was not a very big difficulty, but just by talking to him and reading to that book, it knew so much about soil science. Nowhere he has mentioned about soil structures, how the bacteria work. But it took me 2 years to understand and obey this policy. Because unless you know the soil structure, which is yes, yes, to understand the soil structure, as said, 70% of the soil is rock particles. Among these rock particles is 20% of air and water, depending on the particle size. Suppose sand is 0.1% to 0.2%. It is a coarse, like upma rava. So it has mostly air and water will be little to be held there because it percolates as a denser than air. And these red loamy soils are 10 times smaller than sand particles, 0.1 to 0.2. They are 10 times smaller, but it is a very comfortable structure to hold water and air in equilibrium. So we need not struggle to get it into good order. And the last one, black cotton soil, is like a maida, fine maida like. So it can hold water, not allowing it to percolate, but the problem there is very little air is there. Particularly establishing a sapling, not in sprouting a seed, they are capable. They can move the soil with the roots. But in the beginnings, sapling roots are very weak because they were confined in a bag. So the real problem is in establishing a sapling in black cotton soil. But you can make good of them with addition of lot of biomass. But he has not mentioned anywhere in his book, 181 pages, about the microorganism population and the importance of their work. But it took me 2-3 years to come to know about the soil organisms and their activity, even about earthworms. He has mentioned 2-3 places about earthworms, but not elaborated. They have 6 holes every day, 12 holes to come up and 6 holes to come up and 6 holes to go back, and also several horizontal holes to escape from enemies. He had not mentioned in detail. So it took me 2 years to understand this mechanism of soil structure and although the microbial population working for us in the soil. But once I understood it, they are complementary to each other. Fukuoka was shading, mulching, and again one university makes a mistake. In the same book he has mentioned about mulching rice, grass. They cut it and after threshing, they spread it uniformly like a pile. Actually, even then the seeds did sprout because by experience, Fukuoka has developed a system of showing as if they are fallen after the crop, very irregular. So there was air, there was little sunlight, that's how the system worked. Whereas the university, they did the same work, but not in a very scientific method. When it was cut off, the grass was universe in bundle, and they mulched it in bundle form, the grains didn't start. That is, these are very important. Only a farmer can develop this wisdom, not the agriculture institutions. That is practicality, and presence of the farmer in the farms does contribute. And most of the time we will be watching and analyzing, and we will find solutions also by lot of homework being done. So that took me only 2 years to correct this, but it was not an elaborated science, all in 181 pages, and much of it is always personal life in the beginning. But the principle is beautiful and it is a model for even another 500,000 years future. No doubt about it.
Sir?
Natural farming, it's a very broad field. So a lot of what he has also established and to find solutions that he's been able to do has been very field oriented, in the sense, in the book there are 2 examples that I can remember right now. One is when the saplings, because the birds eat the seeds, what he does is he puts clay and then he puts water and he seeds it in pellets.
Very fast.
Oh, sorry. Okay, one example is when the seeds, they get eaten by birds. So what he does is he puts clay on them and then water, and he makes them into little balls and then waits for them to sprout. Or one more thing he mentions is how he's trained the ducks to come to his field, to even cross the road after modernization has happened, to lay for the manure in his field. So have you on your own been able to develop such field-based solutions?
I am not following 100% the systems because my time is a factor and I have ambitions also as any other human. I am not a saint like him. And for all these reasons, still, now there is a big talk about A1 and A2 milk. Malnad Gidda, the west coast, Dwarf cow milk is the best. But the cow may be Malnad Gidda. But if it is tied up in the shed and is fed with green fodder or dry hay grown on urea, and is providing concentrates to get better milk, that milk is also A1 milk. So it is not only the practice or the animal or the species, it has to be natural even in grazing and walking in sunlight. Particularly Indian cows have a hoodia, they have a nadi, and it attracts solar power, it adds D vitamin into its milk, dung and urine and meat. So all these factors are involved. There are some people in India, some lazy people, because for them it is a fun to be known as natural farmers, because it is a big subject all over the world. But because their incapability, all unwanted Parthenian grasses are grown. When somebody visits and questions what is, this is natural farming. One of my friends, not other than director of ECC and secretary, they got married at the age of 45 and they gave up the job and bought a land in Western Ghats near Killur in Beltangadi Taluk. They cultivated paddy, natural way. They made earthen pellets, they sown 5 kilos and harvested 7 kilos. And whereas Fukuoka, on quarter acre, it fed 5 kilos earthen pellets and harvest 1,200 to 1,500 pounds. Because you have to support them. First thing is the weed management. It is not pulling out or burning it out. But it should not come in the way of photosynthesis of our main crop. And if such natural farmers are there, so the natural farming system will disappear. So my humble request with my farmers is, don't be dare enough to say I am a natural farmer. I want to be, my ultimate goal is that, best confined to that, don't boldly say I am a natural farmer. I am trying, I am a student, but do your best and show the results to the community, then only it gets popularized. And the situation, even Fukuoka has said, don't follow me. And your situation in India or Asia may be quite different. You can't have your chicken and ducks grazing in your land. Some mongoose will carry it away. I don't know whether there are mongooses in Japan. In my garden we have 8 mongooses. They come to the stable itself to eat away in the night. So situation we have to understand. Wherever it is possible, we have to adopt them. And don't confine to one principle, but don't work against the natural system. Whether it's organic farming or sustainable agriculture, Jaivika Krishi, whatever you call it, but all your ideas should be supporting nature without hurting the natural. That is most important. It is not only natural farming, and nobody can follow 100% of Fukuoka system, particularly in India. The weather is very harsh to us. For 9 months we don't have rain here. It is Japan is full of islands. Most of the year they have some rain other, and we have so hot sun here. You have to consider all of these, but let them use them judiciously to support the nature. That is very important. Stand up and little bow.
I have two questions. First question is about organic farming. So recently, some 2 or 3 years back, we already witnessed a very strong movement to support organic food and organic farming, and a lot of people realized and they came to they become very aware about the pesticides and the fertilizers which are intensively used in the food crops that we are eating. So I want to ask about, can we call organic farming itself as a completely as a natural agriculture practice? The organic systems can be called as a complete natural agriculture practice. Second question is about, I learned fisheries in my graduation. So there we had a particular technique which is taught us that the integrated farming systems, where fish, agriculture and dairy combined together, and we were taught that it is highly sustainable and it is not causing any harm to the nature because we are not introducing anything, chemicals or anything like that into the system. So it is completely natural. We were taught in that way. So I want to know whether these integrated systems are also complete natural agriculture systems, and why Fukuoka wasn't support use of composts, use of composting as manure in the fields.
They are not too far from each other, because his idea is to minimize the work of the people. Even 2 hours work every day on quarter of an acre, a man can easily meet his food demands. That is his idea. Organic farming is little branched out system. In my opinion, as an organic farmer for 40 years now, it doesn't make too much difference if we disturb the land 2 inches deep. Because we have 5 people on 4 acres. Our only profession is agriculture, and most of my land is trees. Maybe half an acre left for us 5 people to work. Then it is not bad even if I scratch my land 2 inches deep. Actually, below 4 inches, as he mentioned, also it is my belief that below 4 inches is disastrous. But scrapping 2 inches makes things easy. At least for 1 or 2 months, the problem of weeds will come down. And instead of making the earthen pellets, we can rightly spread the seeds and run the tool again, or once for all, even earlier flow, even with the spreading the seeds on the surface and the little churning tool, you call it rota, only 2 inches depth. It not only kills the weeds, but also buries the seed. I don't think it is a big damage. And again, compost, taking our grass. You should understand, in Japan, they don't have much cows. But 30% of Indian economy for agriculture is from cattle, whether it's goat, sheep, chicken, or cattle breeding. So in any case, we have dung and urine, and instead of taking it and spreading every day on the field, we can make a heap right in the garden, and it is hardly 1 day's work for 2 people to carry it and spread it, and even that is not a very laborious work. And we minimize the wastage, like spreading chicken manure, as he does it there after mulching with hay, winter hay and also paddy hay. When this, with my knowledge and the scientific reason, they say above 30 degrees centigrade, if your dung is not buried under the debris or some mulching material, nitrogen is getting evaporated in the form of ammonia. If you can compost it and spread it on the surface along with the seed and run this little charna or rota, it does the job. Not very expensive, like a tractor, and it is very harmful to the seed. The principle is the same, what I am talking, but I am looking at my economical view and the Indian situation, and we have time. If it is more economical and bring down my labor, I can follow this. There is not much difference between organic farming and natural farming. And for him, he has so many volunteers. You have to recognize at least 15, 20 volunteers are always there. In India, our volunteers doesn't want to work. They can rather pay me 500 rupees a day for food and accommodation for my teaching. I don't know what made us so lazy. They are ready to pay 500 rupees, whereas he has to provide slippers to some of the people. There are so many poor people and weak people there. But we have to consider all these things, particularly India, during this global liberalization. Everybody has 1,000 and 2,000 rupees notes now. So nobody wants to work. So for such lazy people, you have to make some little changes with a small tool, even if it is motorized or solar energized. You have to compromise. You have a big population to feed. I have a responsibility as a farmer to produce food, not only my family, at least my people who work around me or who live in the society, helping me in other systems. So when considering all these things, I am not doing a mistake, and he established a very beautiful system guided by values and as a saint. This is the difference between me and Fukuoka, because he is guided only by values. After that realization, when he fell at the trunk, the whole night he didn't sleep. Like Buddha got realization under banyan tree, he got realization. But I had no chance of getting realization so far. But to some extent guided by values and ethics, I do this, and there is no damage to the land or the universe. So we can make little and he even himself has told it. Nobody need to follow exactly what I am doing. They make little changes according to their needs and conveniences. That is what I am doing.
Sir, my question is also related to, is it audible?
Hello. My question is also related to organic farming. Recently, I visited Uttarkashi. It is in Uttarakhand, and I worked there for 15 days. There is a project running by Wipro called Unnati, with collaboration in organization called Shri Bhuvaneshwari Mahila Ashram. It's a livelihood project. So what they are trying to do in this project, they are trying to promote organic farming. Like in village, people do animal husbandry, poultry farming, beekeeping and agriculture. These are the main occupations. So along with agriculture, they have cattle also. They use cattle dung or urine to make manure. And for this manure, they have a particular pit. It has some 3 feet deep, some structure is there, and after 3 months that manure gets prepared. They take out that manure and it's very soft, very fine, like soil particles. And apart from that, like when they grow vegetables, cauliflower, cabbage, tomato, brinjal, so there is herb attack or pest attack. For that, they make organic pesticides, and for that they use like neem seeds, garlic, coriander, cow ghee, jaggery, all those products. So I want to know whether you also use all these techniques in your farm or something else you do.
These are the beginners. For the beginners, what you talked is very necessary. And again, understand, by 2 bags of 17 chemical fertilizer, you are providing 17% of nitrogen, 17% of phosphorus, and 17% of potash. But with compost, it is 0.3%. So 17 into 4 is 68 quintals. It is a huge amount. Nobody has infrastructure like that to provide 6,700 kilos of compost. And if it is done scientifically according to your heap system, with the holes all around, if I am right, what you are talking, filling them gradually, wetting it to a compressible moisture and making animal slurry, dung slurry, it is a perfect method. But how many people are doing it in India? No, in my opinion, not even 1% of the farmers are preparing compost in such a way. And they want to become organic farmers. Very difficult in the beginning. So, first encourage soil build-up, that is humus, at least to 2%. In my garden it is 4.5. But for the beginners, at least they should bring up their soil carbon to 2%. Then the microbes will be innumerous. When the microbial population comes up, their dead carcasses itself are nutrition. And when you have 1 lakh of earthworms in 1 acre of land, that is even 2 earthworms in 1 square feet. You have 87,000. And they produce 3 tons of rich vermicompost with 1.86 times richer than compost. Apart from that, termites prepare compost, and soil dead bodies, which are innumerous, their dead carcasses will become manure until the system is established. You have to support with green manuring, additional animal dung. It is possible. Once you build up the soil carbon content to 2%, then the microorganisms improve and the number of earthworms will improve, and the cultivation they do for us, we don't need to flow, making holes and get them plastered, and they arrest air and they encourage infiltration of water. They put an end to soil erosion, and the soil, if the land has 25 trees in an acre, their leaves are blown by wind and they are mulching, they are protecting the soil, animals have richer food. Until you establish this system, very difficult. For that, you have to make Panchagavya, you have to make Jivamrita, you have to support with other teas. Once you prepare your soil to have 2% of soil carbon, and the creatures themselves will look after the soil management. Maybe in the 3-4 years, you have to, every year, you have to grow some green manure by manuring with rich compost, and that adds fertility and also increases biomass. In the beginning, 2-3 years. Once you build up the soil carbon at 2% and beyond, then agriculture is a song. Till then you have to work.
Any other questions? We can all take them at once. She has one. Then that can be one final response. We're running a little short time. Although we have time until 4. One more question.
Sir, my question is about cities. So was reading last week about how people are doing organic farming in rooftops. So I want to know what your thoughts are about these small-scale organic farming initiatives within cities. The other thing is, how do you see the involvement of city dwellers who are more and more removed from nature in, our agriculture and organic farming?
Actually,
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ
Sir, what is your opinion in using of the field for growing commercial crops like ginger and vanilla?
actually, commercial crops had created a big problem in India as long back as 1950-60. During 1945, there was so much grains and farmers were not able to sell them, and they got spoiled in silos in the soil, and they used them as manure. That was in 1945. By 1950, there was a big crisis for food grains. That was the mischief the British done to India. And they were purchasing cotton and tobacco at a throwaway price from America because, what do you call them, slaves. Slavery was there. They used to buy African Negroes as slaves, and it was almost free of cost. And then, when United Nations abolished slavery, they were forced to get into missions which were expensive. Then, the deforested soils were very rich in the beginning, and after they were exploited, which continuous growing of tobacco and cotton for Britain to make cigarettes and cloth, so they needed fertilizers. So with those two reasons, demanded a higher price. Then they forced us to grow tobacco and cotton for money. Not only they forced us, they started bad habits like wearing tie, shoot, and brandy, whiskey in the evening and coffee in the morning, cosmetics to look beautiful. All this unwanted culture was brought in, and our Indian farmers got into the habit of growing commercial crops. First, agriculture is most important to grow the food for their family and for the society who support them, like barber, washerman, waterer, carpenter. It was our responsibility to feed them because we were getting their service. But once this commercialization came up, even they were neglected, and we neglected our own kitchen needs, and we are purchasing everything from outside. In my villages, farmers buy pocket milk, farmers buy egg from poultries, all poisoned, what you call, synthetically manipulated. And even curry patta, ಕರಿಬೇವನ್ನು ಕೊಂಡುಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. This is the reason for growing commercial crop. I am not against growing commercial crop at 10-20% to meet our children's education or that. And again, our civilization, lifestyle has totally changed. And I don't know why farmers have motorcycles and cars. I am very comfortable. I could have owned a Mercedes-Benz as long as in 1975 I had money. But so far I have not bought even a moped. I am traveling in my bicycle at the age of 82 up to 10-15 kilometers. Beyond that I take a bus. And if it is beyond 150 kilometers, I am happy to sleep in a sleeper coach. Our lifestyles also force us to change the systems, but polycropping is the best system. No pest problem, no disease problem, and you are getting healthy fruit. Everything comes from your farm, and your money with you, and your local economy is in the village. That is what Gandhiji and Fukuoka wanted us to do. But unfortunately, we are getting our food from America, and I had a batch of students last Pongal day, 14 of them from Davidson University from New Carolina. And they asked me a peculiar question while eating. Papa, how long my food plate has traveled? Except salt, everything else was from my field. At proportionally 5 grams salt, I mentioned 2 kilometers. They were horrified. Hey! Then why you are so happy? Our food plate in America is from 15,000 miles. Everything is brought somewhere from corner of the world. So, global warming, this is the main reason for global warming. And America has the highest fish catch in the world. Fish. They have a vast coast. And you know, to process them, they send it to China for processing. After processing, it comes back to America by aeroplane. That's why International Monetary Fund, World Bank system has kept the price of aviation fuel less than kerosene, my dear friends. And even flying for joy trips is a crime you are doing. Otherwise, your sir was very keen on sending me a vehicle. If I know it is on Hosur Road, I will come up to your gate. But at somewhere inside Electronic City, I asked him to send me a car. Otherwise, right before your college, I could have gotten from the bus and saved this pollution. Please accept as your responsibility to adapt a simple life, not only in controlling, discouraging pollution, and for your own good of being a honest person. If you minimize your needs, what is the need of money? That's why Narayana Reddy is so happy. Please cultivate simple lifestyle, and the most important qualification is my simplicity. Wherever I go, they say what this man is doing here in our famous college. But after hearing, I think at least 10% of you will be happy with me, with my knowledge. But my request for all of you youngsters, children, is to adopt a simple, that gives you the maximum happiness and the minimum need of money. When you minimize the need of money, you can lead a honest, sincere life. This is my message to you. So very acceptable.